In this video, bringing you guys the newest Bloodline tier list in Shindo Life. Now, the reason why I'm actually making this, there has been a ton of reworks to Bloodlines, as you guys would probably know if you actually play this game. So I'm gonna do this new one just to inform you guys of all the changes and where the Bloodlines actually rank now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, more. Let's get right to the video, guys. Alright, so for this tier list, I'm gonna be going through all the Bloodlines so to get any changes pretty quickly, but for the ones that didn't, I will be talking about them a little bit more. So for Akuma, obviously, guys, it's gonna be going to really good. It kind of has everything you would ever want in a Bloodline, plus the mode is actually pretty decent. Goto Jokai is actually be going above Akuma. I actually didn't know this until recently, but the third ability of Goto Jokai, you could actually true combo after it, so you could dash after it, and that's actually extremely good. The only weak thing about this Bloodline is actually the mode. Ashes Storm's obviously going to go in bad. I mean, people use this Bloodline occasionally. I don't think I've ever seen someone use it, but people talk about using it. I think it's bad, however. Now, Azarashi is going to be going to good. Azarashi has actually received some major changes. The Z-Spec, you cannot actually dash during it anymore. You used to be able to dash into the person that used it. You can't do that anymore. Plus, it actually stuns for longer. Plus, the first ability is instant. So, Azarashi is a lot better than he used to be. Azimseko is going to be going to Med. The only good thing about Azimseko is the counter. Otherwise, the other abilities, there's just much better to use. Bankai Inferno is going to be going to Broken. Bankai Inferno, nothing's really changed. It still has the literal best place lock stun in the entire game. It still has a really good auto dodge and some really high damage output. Not to mention the C-Spec actually has no end lag, so you can combo with it. Now, Black Shock, this is going to be one that surprises a lot of people. It's going to go to the top of good. Yes, you heard that correctly. Black Shock is good now. In fact, it might actually be in really good. I haven't used it enough or fought it enough to know that, but Black Shock is good now, as you guys could probably tell from the video I posted today. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Blood is going to be going to the bottom really good. It just has a really long stun. That's pretty much all there is about Blood. Just a stun lock Bloodline. Bolt's going to be going to the bottom of bad, even though it's a very fun Bloodline, it isn't that good. Boramaki is going to be going to probably the middle of good. I know Boramaki is kind of the favorite of a lot of people, but I do not feel like it's that good. It has a very gimmicky mode. Not to mention that the only good ability of Boramaki is the pull move. Bubble's going to be going to the middle of bad. Bubble's just kind of unusable right now with the wide dash spamming. Clay is going to go to the top of meh. I feel like Clay as a Bloodline, it's mainly meant for spamming, and spamming does not generally mean good. Cobra's going to go to good. I actually do recognize that Cobra mode is actually really good for giving you a second life, so it's going to go in good. You know, that's probably the only place it's going to go, though. Crystal's going to go to meh as well. I know Crystal actually received some changes, but there are still some buggy aspects of it, like the Crystal stun move that block breaks or whatever. Half the time it doesn't actually hit. The actual visual effect isn't changed, and nothing really changed of Crystal to make it any better, but they actually did make it more usable than it used to be. Dongin's just going to be going into the bottom of meh. I mean, Dongin, it's a sniping Bloodline. If you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. Now, Diva Ren is actually going into meh as well. Diva Ren, you know, the iframes, they are okay. Iframes are good overall, but the third ability is on the iframe cooldown, which obviously isn't that great. I do know that it received some AoE buffs, but the AoE is still not that great. Diosenko is going to be going into really good. Diosenko is actually going to the top of really good. The mode is absolutely busted for Diosenko, and the moves are usable. It also has an auto dodge, and you guys know how good auto dodges are in this meta. So next up is going to be Eastwood. Now, dude, there are so many people who love this Bloodline, so I'm just going to put it at the bottom of bad. Now, obviously, I'm trolling. There's some people that hardcore fanboy over this Bloodline. I don't really get it. It has an okay M1 combo extender, but that's about it. You know, Eastwood, honestly, probably going to go to the... I'll put it, you know, just for you Eastwood lovers, they'll go to the bottom really good, but it actually would probably be in good, probably around here. But I'll put it here just for you Eastwood lovers. Emerald's going to be going to the bottom of... probably, honestly, in bad. Emerald's just not that good. Explosion is going to be going into meh. I'm actually putting Explosion at the top of meh. Explosion actually, you know, even though it's a common Bloodline, actually does a significant amount of damage. You guys should definitely try it out. Forge Ren, still actually a really good Bloodline. I'm probably going to be putting Forge Ren above Blood. It's still really annoying. It's still really good for PvP. You mainly just use the statue to run over people. Alright, so Scorch. I'm actually going to be putting Scorch into really good as well. I'm going to be putting Scorch probably below Blood. Frostfire is actually going to go way below Scorch. I'm probably going to be putting Frostfire at the bottom of good. So Scorch actually received a lot more damage than Frostfire, which actually made it different from each other because Frostfire stuns. Now, it just so happens that doing like 40k more damage is a lot better than an extra stun move. Now, Ghost Karashi, this pains me to say it, but Ghost Karashi is going to be going into meh, probably above Diva Ren, below Explosion. Ghost Karashi just isn't that great anymore. I mean, they pretty much nerfed every single move of Ghost Karashi, if I'm not mistaken. I actually think they nerfed every single move of it. It's just not that good anymore, and it really is a sore sight to see it in the meh rank. Giovanni Shizen also be going into meh as well. I'm putting Giovanni Shizen probably below Ghost Karashi, above Diva Ren. Giovanni Shizen, it does a lot of damage, but it's not really used for anything. Gold Sand's definitely going to be going into bad. Gold Sand's probably going to be going above Emerald in bad. Gold Sand does have a move, but every single one of the moves, it has a better version of it. Wanziyame is going to be going to meh as well. I feel like Wanziyame is very mode carried, so we're going to be putting it probably... I'll put it to the top of meh. It is very mode carried. The mode is amazing, but the abilities just aren't that great. Hair's going to be going to the bottom of meh. for you hair lovers, Dimalama Ning Dong, man. Ice is kind of going to be a weird one. Ice was definitely going to be going to the bottom of bad. I feel like Ice is just not that great. The main reason why it's so good is because of a glitch. The first ability kind of glitches out, but that's the main reason why Ice is actually good. All right, so next up is going to be Inferno. Inferno is a very forgotten bloodline, and it's forgotten for a reason. It's going to be going to the top of bad. Other than like M1 combos, and there's a lot better M1 combo extenders in the game. There's not really any use for this. Now, Ink has received a buff. Ink is probably going to be going to Met as well. I'll be putting Ink probably honestly at the top of Met. I feel like Ink overall is very decent. You know, the auto tracking, the AoE on it isn't that great, but they actually did buff it and gave it a stun effect, like a little blind effect, not stun effect. Iron Sand is going to be going to Met, probably honestly above Giovanni Shizen, just because Iron Sand can be used in some cases. Now, Eternal, this one's going to make some people mad. It's definitely going to go to the top of Met. I feel like Eternal overall just kind of outdated as a bloodline. Jeremaki, probably going to go to the bottom of good. Jeremaki, you know, that toad ability, if they made the toad ability better, Jeremaki would be a lot better overall. Normal Jokai, probably going to go to the bottom of good as well. It's just Golden Jokai with less damage. Now, Kakatsu is going to go into Met as well. Kakatsu is probably going to go to the top of Met because it actually has some use in M1 combos, but other than that, it's not that great. Kaijin, dude, Kaijin is going to go into bad. I'm going to say it because I actually have used Kaijin recently. And for the people that main Kaijin, Kaijin's bad. I'm sorry to say it. Now, Kamaki's just going to be going above Boramaki. It's pretty much just Boramaki, but better. Now, Kurata is actually going into good. I actually feel like Kurata is actually probably below Jeremaki. No, Jirokai's definitely above it. I'm going to put it to the bottom of good. It has a lot of damage output. Kenichi. Now, Kenichi's actually going to be going to the top of good. No, honestly, probably the bottom of really good. The extra auto dodge in the mode is really good, and the moves of it aren't, you know, they aren't the worst thing in the world, combined with the fact that the weapon spec was actually fixed. So it is actually pretty decent now. Now, Dokai. This is going to be one that may surprise a lot of people, but Dokai, I'm actually putting it in really good above Eastwood Karashi. Now, Dokai, the reason why it's going to go this high, the silence effect is so broken right now in this meta. This meta, that silence effect that comes with the second ability and first ability are absolutely insane. Not to mention the Genjutsu isn't on the stun global cooldown anymore, so it's actually really, really good now. Conchu is going to be going too good. I feel like Conchu is mainly good against noobs, so I'm going to put it to the bottom of good, but half the time the abilities just won't connect. Lava is actually pretty good now. I'm actually putting Lava to the bottom of good. You know, this may surprise a lot of people, you know, considering Lava used to be the worst blood in the game. No, Lava, it's definitely still going to go in meh. I feel like the damage output, yeah, top of meh. It has really high damage output, but it still is kind of gimmicky. Light Jokai is definitely going to be going into really good. Light Jokai probably, I'll put it probably above Blood, below Light Jokai. I mean, below Forged Rengoku. Light Jokai, still, the mode is absolutely insane. Mecha Spirit is going to be going to really good as well. At the very bottom are really good. You know, every single ability of Mecha Spirit is good besides the mode. And if something is the opposite of mode carried, what is that? Is it Bloodline move carried? Minakami definitely going into meh. There's not really much to say about it. It's just bad now. Minakaze, now this might actually trigger a lot of people, but Minakaze is going to be going into good, probably below Boramaki and above Azarashi. Minakaze has a lot of damage output, but it is very counterable. Now, Mud, you know, it's going to be going to the top of broken. All right, jokes aside, Mud is not going to be going to the top of broken. Mud's probably going to be in bad, above Inferno, and below Kaijin. All right, so Naramaki here. Naramaki is actually, you know, I know some people hate Naramaki, some people love it. Naramaki is actually good now. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it here. Naramaki is actually good now to the point where I'm probably going to be putting it below Dokai, above Eastwood. Naramaki, the abilities have been buffed to the extent of Naramaki actually being a good bloodline to use, and actually do recommend the people that have it to try it out. All right, so Raika Shizen and Shizen are going to be going into good, probably above Azarashi and below Minakaze here. So Shizen and Raika Shizen and Nature probably just going to be going to bad. When it comes to these two bloodlines right here, Shizen, Raika Shizen, they're just kind of weird to use. They all have their uses. You know, Shizen is absolutely amazing when considered against the other CC clans. But when not considered against CC clans, it's just not that great. Nectar is definitely going into good. Nectar is actually a lot better than a lot of people think. I'm going to be putting it probably in good below Jokai. Nectar has a really, really, really good second ability. You guys should definitely check it out. Odin Sabru, obviously going to be going to really good. I'm probably going to be putting Odin Sabru probably below Akuma, above Forge Ren. Odin Sabru mode is really, really good if you can actually land the C-Spec. It's the exact same as the Akuma C-Spec, so it does like 90k damage. Not to mention that Odin Sabru has the best block break teleport in the entire game, and it also does have an iframe move. Hey you, yeah you, have you remembered to hit that like button on the video yet? If you haven't already, go ahead and do it. Okami definitely going to bad. It's just super broken half the time. Paper's going to be going into meh. Paper's probably going to be going below probably below explode. No, below goes Karashi. Paper does have its uses and combos and things like that, but it has been nerfed to the point where it's just not that great. Atomic is gonna be good too. Probably honestly in meh. You know, people are gonna get cry about it, so I'll definitely put it to the bottom of good. Atomic, you know, I actually don't think Atomic is that great, but you know, people love Atomic for some reason. I'll put it here for you guys. All right, so I fixed up the tier list a little bit. I moved some stuff, but Pikasenko is actually going into good as well. Pikasenko probably top of good. I don't feel like Pikasenko really has what it takes to be in the really good tier. All of the bloodlines in the really good tier have multiple actually decent moves in one really busted move. Pikasenko is just really not there yet. I mean, it has a pretty good move set, but it's just mainly meant for utility. Vine's definitely going into med. Vine's just kind of a troll bloodline. I mean, if you say it's anything other than a troll bloodline, then it's whatever then. Now, Ryan, Ren, and Ryan Akuma. Ryan Akuma, this may actually surprise some people considering Ryan Akuma used to be at the top of broken, but Ryan Akuma is definitely going to be moving down the list quite a bit. Probably going to be going below Light Yokai. It is mode carried now. The actual abilities of it aren't that great. They nerfed pretty much all the good aspects of the bloodline abilities. Second ability damage was lowered. Third ability no longer has iframe, so it's mainly mode carried now, but the mode is still really, really good. Ryan Ren, on the other hand, it's mainly carried by the second ability. I'll be putting it probably to the top of good here. Ryan Ren's gonna be going to the top of good just because it does have the second mode, which is really good. It's also gonna be getting a rework soon, so that's why I'm not gonna rank it any higher and lower. I'm just gonna put it in the middle for now because I want this to be future proof. All right, so Red Goku here. Red Goku is the most recent one to get changes, so Red Goku is definitely going into it'll be in the I don't know whether to put in really good or broken. I think after, all right, I'm gonna put it to the bottom of broken. I'm gonna put it here, guys. I think Red Goku, after the mode gets fixed, which it is getting fixed, it's going to be really busted. I mean, in Red Goku, all the abilities are extremely good. The third ability is kind of the only bad one of the bloodline right now. First ability is really, really good for just hyper armor. You know, you can start combos off it and stuff like that. Second ability is a stun move. It's also really, really good for M1 combo extending. That is gonna get nerfed, unfortunately. You know what? Just to future proof it, I'm gonna be putting it to the top of really good. I think that after the second move gets nerfed, it's not gonna be the most broken thing in the world, but after the mode gets fixed, it'll definitely be really good. So 10 Goku after the reworks. I actually feel like 10 Goku is probably below Dio Senko and above Golden Jokai. So 10 Goku right here. I feel like 10 Goku is mainly just a damage bloodline now, and that's what it's meant to be. I feel like it being a damage bloodline is very good, and I feel like it's actually in a really good place right now. Next up is gonna be Sen Goku. I actually feel like Sen Goku should definitely be sitting somewhere around probably above Blood and below Ryan Akuma here. I feel like Sen Goku, after the changes, it is a lot better than it used to be, but I feel like Sen Goku doesn't really compare to the other bloodlines in the game. So Sen Goku is mainly just an iframe spam bloodline. I mean, if you say I'm wrong, then you probably just don't use Sen Goku at all. It's definitely an iframe spam bloodline, and most people just use it for the counter. Red Shiki here is definitely going to go into good. I'm probably putting Red Shiki, I'll put it above Minakaze, below Boramaki. Red Shiki is mainly used for the counter. All the other abilities of it are just kind of bad. Riser Kuma. So there's a lot of Riser Kuma fanboys. I used to really, really like Riser Kuma. It used to be my favorite bloodline in the entire game until it got nerfed. There's a lot of people claiming that it's like extremely good now. The auto dodge is good, I guess. I'll be putting it, I'll put it in really good above Akuma, okay? I don't feel like it's broken. People say it's better than a Bankai. I don't think it's even close. Bankai has that place lock stun, which is used by literally 90% of the people that are tryhards in this game. So yeah, Bankai Kuma is definitely gonna go there. Ryuji Kenichi. This bloodline is the most mode carry bloodline in the game. I feel like Ryuji Kenichi, all right, I'm gonna put it to the top of really good. The mode is still absolutely insanely busted. You know, even though it's mode carried, the mode is so good, it just has to go here. You know what, you know what, no, it's going here. That mode is absolutely nuts. I think that a fair thing for Ryuji Kenichi to do would be to nerf the mode a lot and then make the actual bloodline moves a lot better. Besides the third ability is also kind of insane. All right, so Sabaru here. Sabaru is definitely going into probably bottom of good. Sabaru, you could jump out of it, so that when they use the Senbon toss, it has a really, really low cooldown, so you can M1 combo set, but if they know what they're doing, they'll just jump out of it. Sand is actually good now. Sand is definitely going into good. Sand's probably gonna be going I mean, it's a lot better than it used to be, but at the same time, I mean, all right, I'll put Sand near the top of good after the rework. I'll put Sand above Renshiki because the counter of Sand is really good. Sriracha is definitely going into really good. I'm probably putting Sriracha at the very bottom of really good. I feel like all the abilities are just kind of avoidable, or they have really easy setup, but I mean, it's an Akuma. It has a really, really good, you know, Susanoo, and I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. Satori Akuma is definitely going into really good. It just, the place of really good is kind of the question, because it is very mode carried right now. By very, I mean completely mode carried. So people only use this for the mode, so I'm gonna be putting it probably below Sengoku. Nah, All right, it's definitely gonna be all right. Below Light Jokai, above Ryan Kuma. It'll go with the other mode carry bloodlines. So when it comes to Satori Kuma, the mode carries it so hard because the mode weapon spec is just absolutely insane, and the C spec can be used for running away from people. I do feel like Rengoku is kind of way too high here, so I'm going to be putting Rengoku probably right there. Seishin definitely going into Med, probably above Vine. I mean, Seishin overall, it's just mainly meant for comboing, but half the time the abilities don't ever work. Now Senko is also a really good bloodline. I mean, I'm going to be putting Senko probably, I'll put it below Dokai because it's kind of used for the same thing. The Senko first ability is really, really good. That's really all there is to say about it. Now Shadow. This is one that you guys probably will not expect, and I'm gonna call the shot right here. Shadow is going to be going into really good. And not only is it going to be going into really good, I'm going to be putting it right here. Shadow is going to be meta. And I know it for a fact, after seeing the showcase, after using it myself, Shadow will be meta. Especially after people start like fully realizing how to use the second and third ability effectively. I feel like Shadow's going to be an absolute pain to deal with. Alright, so Shindai Ren here. Shindai Ren definitely going to be going into really good. I feel like Shindai Ren does have a lot of decent abilities. Probably going to be going above Sengoku, below Ranakuma here. Shindai Ren, not as good as it used to be, but they did nerf the chi drain on the counter. Alright, now that I'm thinking about it, Shindai Ren is definitely probably above Forged Ren still. Oda Sabru is also a little bit too high. I'm going to be putting Oda Sabru probably right about here. Shindai Ren, you know, it does have the throwable that's absolutely insane. It has the counter that's absolutely insane. The block break second ability, also really insane. First ability does a ton of damage. Shindai Akuma. Shindai Akuma is no longer the worst one in the game. I actually think it's better than Sriracha. I'm probably honestly going to be putting it right here and really good. So for the actual Shindai Akuma, I feel like the actual counter move is actually really good. The clone move, it does teleport you to them, so you know that's great overall. Not to mention that Shindai actually has received some major buffs with the actual mode. It does mode drain now. The Shiver Akuma, I definitely feel like it's probably better than Shindai. I feel like it's a very annoying type of bloodline. I feel like Naramaki definitely is a lot lower than where I put it. Eastwood probably a lot lower. Let me just fix this real quick. Alright, so let's fix some of the bloodline placements here. Shiver Akuma is mainly meant for annoying people, but it is actually pretty decent overall because the stuns do last a long time. Alright, so Smoke here definitely going into mess. Smoke is mainly meant for traveling. Honestly, top of bad. I mean, Smoke is mainly meant for traveling. If you're using it for anything other than traveling, you're a Giga Chad, man. Sound here. Sound is actually going to be going to meh. I feel like Sound does have some merits with the damage, which is why it's going to go right next to Explosion. I mean, Steam, come on, man. Steam, yeah. I'm not saying anything. Storm is actually a lot better than I thought it was. Storm's going to be going into good, probably below Nectar. I feel like Storm is a very good anti-auto dodge type of bloodline, but for the actual bloodline slot that you're using, it might be better just to use one of the really good bloodlines. For Tsunami, I feel like Tsunami is definitely going to be going to meh. If they fix the first ability Tsunami, it would be a lot higher, but for now, it's definitely going to meh, probably above Paper. Typhoon's definitely going to go right next to Tsunami because it has the same exact type of moveset. Aided Sun Mud here, otherwise known as V Mud, whatever you want to call it, don't really care. But when it comes to V Mud here, or Aided Sun Mud, definitely... Alright, I'm just not even going to say anything about it. It's pretty bad. Xeno Dokai, definitely going to, you know, this is hard because this isn't just a PvP tier list. It's kind of just an overall tier list. It's like PvP, competitive. I'm trying to encompassing every single thing, including PvE here. I mean, it's just like, it's so hard because Xeno Dokai is the literal best PvE bloodline. Alright, so just for this list, I'm going to put in Xeno Dokai here. I don't feel like it's fair to rate it in other places. It is just literally the best PvE bloodline. Glacier's definitely going into good. Glacier probably bottom of good. It's very good against auto dodges, but I feel like the other abilities just aren't that great. Bankai Inferno definitely going into probably just good. I feel like Bankai Inferno isn't that great as a bloodline, but the actual breakaway is very nice. So I'll probably be putting it below Boramaki here. Afurama Shizen definitely going into really good. I actually feel like it's also one of the best PvE bloodlines in the entire game, but it's not as good as Xeno Dokai. So Afurama Shizen definitely going to go into really good. Probably honestly at the bottom. I mean, it has really good, like, it's just a really good overall moveset, but after they nerf the block breaker, it just isn't the greatest anymore. Alright, so for Doku Tengoku here, Doku Tengoku is actually one of my favorite bloodlines in the game. I actually feel like the moveset's very cool. Doku Tengoku probably going to be going into really good. It's just the effort of where. I feel like definitely probably bottom bottom of really good. I feel like it has a better Eastwood Karashi first move in all cases, and the mode is a lot better. In fact, I'm actually going to be putting it above Norimaki too. All right, so I actually added a new tier called Combo Reliant because I feel like there's way too many bloodlines in the really good tier that are just kind of mainly meant for combos. So Mech Spirit, you know, Dokai, Scorch, Blood. I feel like all of these are very combo reliant bloodlines. This is worst to best, by the way. So no, I mean best to worst here. I feel like these are very combo reliant bloodlines. So they're good for just kind of one type of combo. Mech Spirit, no, Mech Spirit's just really good overall. But for these ones, I feel like they're very combo reliant. You know, I feel like all of these, they can be used outside of combos generally, but these are just completely combo reliant, so I had to make their own tier. Satori Ren here is definitely going into a the people that say Satori Ren is good are just like absolute cappers on a stackers. Satori Ren is not good, it's bad. All right, so I changed my mind about the combo reliant one. I'm just going to add an almost broken tier here, and I'm just going to move these up right here. So I'm going to be moving these up to the almost broken tier because I feel like they are almost broken. They're very close to being almost broken here, so I'm just kind of doing that to thin out the really good tier. All right, so for web here, definitely going to be going to really good here. Probably put it to the bottom of really good. It's kind of used for the same thing as Blood. Shiro Glacier is definitely going into the good tier, probably to the top of good. It has a really good E spec on the actual mode. I mean weapon spec on the mode. The weapon spec is probably one of the best weapon specs in the game, but the actual abilities just aren't that great outside of, you know, combos. By the way, guys, what is your favorite bloodline in Shindo Life? Feel free to tell me in the comments below. I think I know what the most popular one is, but tell me in the comment. Kagoku is definitely going into almost broken. Now I'm going to be putting it probably below, probably honestly at the near bottom of almost broken here. So Kagoku, after the pool got nerfed, is actually significantly worse than it used to be, but the mode is still absolutely insane, which is why it's going to rank here. Van Helsing, this bloodline is an absolute iframe spam bloodline, so I'm going to put it right next to the other iframe spam bloodline. Menza, I actually feel like Menza's not that great, but I'll put it at the bottom of good just because I haven't seen people use it that effectively. All right, so I feel like Shadow, I kind of ranked it a little bit too high during this tier list, so I'm going to be moving it to the bottom of almost broken here. Anyways, guys, that's actually it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like, subscribe, guys. Bye-bye.